mental health is an issue that leaders aren't realizing is one of the keys to success personally, professionally, with their families. And you've noticed this as you've been speaking to many of them at our EntreLeadership events. What are you seeing?
Well, I think there's the speaking at the events, but where I'm really have had my perspective changed is by traveling the country and sitting with folks in their boardroom meetings or in their offices, sometimes even in their homes. And there's a couple things happening. One, business leaders keep reporting back to me that they are experiencing something different than what the media is telling them. I sat with a group of leaders just a few weeks ago, and they were all saying, our business is really, really busy. And everybody's telling me that there's a recession and the end of times are here, and there's a bunch of tech companies laying off people. Am I crazy? And they were everybody at the table was like, yeah, we're having another record year, or maybe it's not as crazy as it was in 2021, but we're really busy. And so I think it's important for business leaders to begin to focus on reality and get out of the news. Get out of the cycle, get off the drama, get off of the constant spin up, spin down cycle of cortisol and adrenaline, and just deal with reality as it's presented to you. Is your business struggling right now? Do y'all need to pivot hardcore? Or y'all doing really well? And we're going to continue to be smart about our finances, but we're going to ride this thing out, right? That's the first one. The second thing I'm hearing has been a shift, man. People aren't asking questions about like, hey, I've got somebody with ADHD in my family, or my marriage is rocky. There's marriage-related questions, but the bigger questions I'm hearing are we going to make it? Has democracy run aground? Is this the end of it for all of us, and we just need to get what we can while we can? And so again, it goes back to this poison air that's circling our country, circling the globe right now, which is it's all coming down. And I just don't think that's true. I don't think there's anything that would lead me in that direction to think this is the end. This is the end. This is the end. And so I want people to begin to choose to seek beauty in their days, to find relationships with people, to inject joy into their lives, and find pleasure in their business again, man.
So when it comes to leaders spinning out, feeling like they're on the verge of burnout or a lot of anxiety, what seems like what you're saying is your inputs matter way more than you know. The things that you're allowing into your brain, the voices you're allowing into your head, that then has a trajectory effect on the rest of your day, the rest of your life.
And the things you do, right? So it's not about I don't want to be anxious anymore or I want to be mentally well. Man, those are all byproducts of the life you've chosen to live, right? To lead. So I like to think of it in terms of how do I create a non-anxious life? How do I create a life worth living, right? And that might mean I'm going to take $25,000 fewer dollars this year as a drawdown, and I'm going to hire a part-time employee that's going to help pick up my dry cleaning, do things that like, you see what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I want to create a life that I want to live. I don't want to continue to let my life dictate everything about me, right? Or just do the next busy thing and the next busy thing and the next busy thing. And if you create a life worth living, if you create a non-anxious life, your anxiety alarms shut themselves off and they just ring when you need them. Right? You don't feel as low all the time if you're exercising and you're hanging out with friends and you've got people that are in your life that you don't work with. And you also have great relationships with people you do work with and your business is successful and you're growing yourself. Man, all of a sudden, this quote unquote mental health stuff that's burying people, it tends to shift and morph and not become so front and center anymore.
Yeah. And for so many people listening, the leaders I know, they have a high pain tolerance. They can just like white knuckle it and make it. It almost seems like they can build a tolerance to it where they don't really connect with some of the symptoms that you're talking about. How do you kind of self-assess to go, am I really experiencing this? What's beneath the surface? How do you kind of go deeper?
In the long term, I think you want to get back in touch with. This sounds so, dude, I know what I'm about to say. It sounds so cheesy. Like we're making our own granola in here and having chamomile tea and whatever. But
sounds wonderful.
Exactly. George is like, this is great. From flowers we picked ourselves out in the forest, right? And I don't know if chamomile flowers grow in the forest.
That's real.
But, our bodies are alarm systems, man. And if you wake up every day and your eyes fling open at 2:30 in the morning, and your heart's already beating 100 miles an hour, and you're just spinning and spinning, your body's telling you, hey, we can't fully sleep because we're under threat right now. And then you can go, okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know, body. I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to drug you up. I'm not going to get all raged out and angry. I'm not going to go try to silence those alarms with more gummy bears and whatever baked goods might be in the house. Not that I've ever
Doesn't sound personal.
done that. Not personal at all. I'm going to ask myself, where am I disconnected? Where am I not safe, right? Do I owe somebody too much money? Is my business, am I not being honest about the trajectory of my business isn't good? Am I running out of employees because I'm too frazzled of a leader for people to want to follow? I need to ask those questions, and I want to learn to listen to my body. In the short term, I got to get a group of men or women around me that I meet with regularly that I can be completely honest with. Not just that I can flex with or not, that I can be totally honest with. And there's a reason that every major religion throughout history has confession and community as cornerstones, because that's the key to a healthy life, right? And so as a business owner, I got to get people in my life that I can just sit and be honest with. And that is the path in the woods towards healing.